You're listening to Opinions and Beer. I prefer mead. You sent me to hell, Jason.
I really just want to make everybody jealous.
I'm a person from Earth.
Listen, what are we talking about?
I reckon it sounds like Opinions and Beer.
You can do it, Dingo.
Oh, I'm good.
You're the smartest dumb guys I've ever met.
You're missing the best interview ever.
Holy fucking shit!
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is Opinions and Beer.
But it's not just any normal Opinions and Beer. This is the Opinions and Beer.
I'm your host, Adam. We have our other host, Eamon.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Keenan.
I told you to use my catchphrase, my code name, which is also Keenan.
And EdRay1416.
Yo.
Today, we will be reviewing two beers from the Hellfighter Carbox series, but we will also be reviewing
Wait for it.
Avengers Endgame, the movie of the year, of the last decade.
Yeah. Have you finally finished wiping the tears and dust from Avengers Infinity War out of your eyes?
Because
Get ready for it to happen all over again.
Yeah, like, oh wait, I can't say that. I was good. Never mind. This is the spoiler-free part. We're gonna start our section off with the spoiler-free review.
Exactly. We're gonna do a spoiler-free part, and then after a beer or so, I think we're gonna get into the main stuff.
So like I said, we have the Hellfighter series, the variety pack. It came in a 4-pack. We reviewed 2 of them already. So we are going to review these next 2. The first beer, so the 2 beers of the day, starting with the first one, it's Bourbon Barrel. It's a Bourbon Barrel Horchata ale. It is an ale brewed with cinnamon, rice, vanilla beans, and lactose, then aged in a bourbon barrel. This is 11.8% in alcohol by volume.
Brewed in Texas.
Lactose. Is that what makes the difference between like a stout and milk stout? Then?
No. Okay. Oh well, this is just brewed with a way for the sugar to not to be able to stay visible.
You're using scientific terms when you're describing that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Stay. Yeah. The ability to taste the sweetness is what lactose is added to beers for.
Okay. So we're pouring the beers right now. For the people are probably wondering what the awkward silence is.
Oh, just keep talking.
We're also mulling over Avengers.
Yeah, I'm taken aback right now. I'm emotionally scarred, and I have to recover.
From Infinity War or Endgame?
Infinity War was child's play compared to Endgame.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, not child's play, but like I said,
So this is just a
coming out the
horchata.
theater.
It's not really a porter or a
stout.
or a stout. It's just a dark ale brewed in bourbon barrels.
Okay, so
I hope.
Yeah, let's
I guess we know
stick
what
to the
to
beers
look
before we
forward
get to Avengers. You know.
So we're gonna go ahead and
oh, it's 11.8.
yeah, I told you that.
Good thing, because we all got so little.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and try these beers.
To the Avengers.
To the Avengers.
Oh my God! Oh man, I got so much.
Can you smell it? Can you
No.
Can you smell it? Yeah.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Oh, it smells really stout. Oh man, that tastes
And then, this is what we
It almost tastes like whiskey for half a second. Is that just me?
No. And actually,
That's the bourbon barrel.
That's
me and
crazy.
Eamon,
It's like whiskey beer.
me and Eamon, we did a test because this came with 2 porters, exactly the same ingredients, but one was put in a bourbon barrel to age. And we ultimately decided that the non-bourbon barrel one actually tasted better. Way better, more like a beer.
Yeah,
because
it tasted more like a porter and less like freaking whiskey.
Yeah, because we discovered that the bourbon barrel is actually it hides the notes of the beer.
Yeah, it almost took away from the beer entirely.
And also, like, there's cinnamon in this, and I don't know why, but I feel like that's making my brain think about, the burn of whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed about this one though is the flavors of that bourbon are coming to. Instead of like harming the flavor of the other one, since this is a
Stout.
dark amber or whatever instead, or horchata, I feel like it's actually like aiding it.
Accenting it.
Yeah. So is the other one kind of the same thing? Is that
No,
like
this one's a
horchata
mull.
without it, or
This one, yeah. Instead of oh shit, maybe they're both in bourbon barrels.
Oh man.
Okay, the other one is going to be an ale brewed with chilies, cinnamon, cumin, chocolate,
oh shit,
and bourbon
Wow,
barrel.
that other one's
that's
gonna be
fiery. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's like, it's like drinking weak whiskey.
Yeah.
So should we?
It's pretty cool though. I like it so far.
So we're gonna go ahead.
That should go good in my milkshake.
What should we? Are we gonna hold off on a rating on this one and then?
No,
Rate
that make
it
it too
after.
convoluted. Let's rate
Okay.
this one and then rate the other one at a different time.
Okay. So this one I give I guess a 7 or 8.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not into these bourbon barrel stuff, but
Yeah, I think like
maybe it should
it's
be.
good.
It's almost too much flavor.
Yeah, it's weird. There's like a rating I can give it, and a rating I can give it for other people. Like me personally, like I don't want to get like I wouldn't personally seek this out because it's just gonna make me want to hit the bottle. You know, it's like, oh man, this is reminding me of whiskey with and I drink beer to stay away from whiskey, to stay away from Jello. You know, so
Yeah.
so, but like other people that have more self control might give it a 7 or 8, but I'm gonna give it a 6.
What would you give it, Eamon?
Like I'm concentrating on what the other one tasted like without the bourbon, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the bourbon barrel brewing style. I know that we've tried some in the past that were just absolutely awesome, but I'm not sure that Carbach nailed it as much. It's almost like they didn't brew it in the bourbon barrels. It's more like they put it in normal barrels, and then after that they just splashed bourbon straight into the mix.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
that's why it's 11% alcohol.
like how are you getting this much bourbon from straight up fucking just like
It being in a
it being
barrel,
in a barrel,
it
like-
should have a hint of bourbon. That you have to really concentrate the taste. Not,
Yeah,
oh my
it's
god,
like-
was that whiskey?
It's like no, they had that bourbon barrel, but like there was still like a quarter of the barrel was still full of
With
fucking
bourbon.
bourbon. Like they just poured it on top of
Like,
it.
dude, I think it's giving me the same heartburn that whiskey gives me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like this-
it's a bit much. Horchata, I haven't had one before, but like a dark amber, I have had those before.
I honestly, I think horchata might be.
See, like my head's kind of swimming.
If beers are like
I'm sorry.
if
Go ahead.
if beers are kind of made around cinnamon, and particularly cinnamon, I've noticed that those are typically labeled as horchatas.
Okay. So it's meant to kind of be like
But
spicy.
the mull has cinnamon in it, but I don't think it's. I think
horchata?
I think the mull is looking more at the chili than the cinnamon. It's more built around other stuff.
So the cinnamon kind of takes more of a backseat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
On a numerical scale, I think it does get the job done, and like we criticize these beers, but all of these beers are fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I mean like
There's only been like a handful, like Clown Shoes.
Yeah.
It's like the only ones that I'm
and
really
even
just...
that shit's still preferable over any of the adjunct lagers that
Right.
are peddled out to the common mass of America. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I agree. So with that in mind, I'm gonna give it probably about an 8 because I think that it does do what it's trying to say, and I feel like this one, the bourbon complements the brewing process complements it, whereas in the other one, the porter, it just it was too much.
Exactly.
You know what this would go good with? A fucking buttered beer from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
We'll
just
get,
saying,
we'll
it
get
really
into- we'll get into future Avengers fan theory
So
after.
let's go ahead. We're gonna give our Okay, so here's how it's gonna work. We're gonna give our non-spoiler review first. We're gonna review another beer, and then we're gonna hit the spoilers, all sorts of crazy. I don't know how we're gonna tackle this. We're gonna make this kind of quick, a non-spoiler review. So our initial thoughts after leaving the theater are just our feelings.
I want to hear Ed Ray's.
So Ed Ray, without spoilers. No, non-spoilers. Just your initial thought after leaving the theater. How was it? What would you rate it?
Instead of a 15-minute rant, just go for like a 3-minute one.
No. I'm going to keep it 1 minute.
Okay.
No, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, so basically after I got out of the theater, I said, I'm glad it's over because I couldn't sit through 3 hours of anything without getting bored out of my mind. That's
oh my
it.
God, you're so right.
Well, that's it for me. I don't. What more can I say? I mean, it's just a waste of time.
So he'll be back for the spoiler part, and he'll dive into what exactly he hated about it.
But I mean, that's one thing that I do want to touch on is that I felt like, unlike some of the other movies that Marvel's done, this one drug. I feel like it drug a lot. There was a lot of, and this is spoiler free, like there was a lot of like kind of drama build up to certain scenes, and I get it. They have a lot riding on their momentum or whatever, but I kind of feel like the acting they took a step back on the acting, and I think that the story, they took a step back on the story. I felt like they knew that there was so much riding on Avengers already, that it had so much to go off of, that they didn't have to do too much.
Like, they just let it all come together itself.
Yep.
And oh my God, man! I guess
non-spoilery.
I know. I was like,
your thoughts leaving the theater.
I literally have to. Okay, yeah.
Like both Ed Ray and me were agreeing that it was too much length. Like, I felt that it drug.
No, I loved every second of it.
Okay.
No, like I would have watched a 4-hour Avenger movie of just them sitting around talking about it, and it, like the last hour was just them like hanging out.
They're not
like,
even in character.
No.
Like, it's just the
no, they gotta be in
actors sitting
character.
there
No,
just
because I was about to say like I'm that way. Like when I love a set of characters so much, it's like I don't even much care about the plot. Like I'll watch them play Pong for an hour. You know, like as long as I get to see that chemistry of those characters. You know.
Yeah.
But really, like it was great.
So, my initial thoughts when I left the theater is that I guess compared to Endgame, there wasn't
Infinity War, you mean?
I mean, compared to Infinity War, there wasn't as much tension, which I guess is a good thing.
Well, that's because it wrapped itself up. Well, Infinity War was supposed to create tension.
No.
I did though. Like you feel.
Oh
like
yeah.
Infinity Endgame. Or whatever, Avengers Endgame, it did exactly that.
If I didn't know that they were going to continue on with a Phase 4 and stuff, like how much it wrapped itself up scares me. Like, that's it. Never another Marvel movie after this.
Yep, I can get with that.
You know, and it's just like, oh. But I know that they're going to do more, and they're talking about Phase 4 already, and they like, you know, they're out there, they're like, enjoying the fact that we don't know a fucking thing about Phase 4.
Yeah.
And they've come out and said that, like, we enjoy the fact that you don't know a fucking thing about Phase 4.
Well,
which acknowledges Phase 4's existence.
I do think that the money potential that's
means Marvel will never, ever stop.
Yes, no, they're gonna resurrect
two horses they will beat to death
so many times. Like, yeah.
Marvel and Star Wars.
Exactly. Now that they have those we were kind of talking about this earlier, those 2 copyrights, you know. That's some of the stuff that I feel like they're just not going to let go.
Like, man, yeah, someone pointed out, like, they just finished Star Wars Land. Like, I don't care if, like, the next 10 Star Wars movie bomb. They're going to try for another 11 after that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's we're branching off into Star Wars. Let's keep it Marvel.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, there's so much happens.
Is there a difference? No.
So much happens, and a time frame that I won't explain to the audience, but it makes it to where describing things without spoilers is a very difficult thing to do. Because I mean, I could tell you some of the spoilers that happen, and you wouldn't believe them. You wouldn't straight up like you wouldn't believe some of the stuff.
They'll be like, you're making that shit up.
Yeah, no.
Like when people were running around when Harry Potter was really big, and at the very end of its arc, people were like, Harry Potter dies at the end, and everyone was like, I don't fucking believe that guy. Yeah, and then Harry Potter really did die at the end.
So spoiler-free Avengers review right now, but Harry Potter spoilers, sorry. They're there.
Yeah, it's a little late. Look, Thanos kills Harry Potter at the end. It goes down that way.
So is Harry Potter in the extended Marvel universe?
He
is.
is.
That what's going to happen?
No, if Disney would ever buy Universal's next. Disney's going to buy Universal.
do you believe that there's alternate dimensions in the Marvel universes?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Do I believe they've showed you all?
Yeah,
You know?
like I mean, like, but not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Go ahead.
We're not in the spoiler.
Hey, everyone, what was your initial rating of this movie?
Yeah,
1 out of 10.
We're so eager to get into the spoiler part. We're not even
initial rating or like
I guess your rating.
your post rating. Yeah, because initially I was like, this is gonna be a fucking 20 on a scale of 10.
I'm still like that.
I don't feel that way. I mean, I feel like it did what it needed to do.
Exactly.
Like, but
it totally
it
fulfilled.
But I didn't like I said, I think that I got way more out of Infinity War than I did out of Endgame. And like, I know I hate to be that person but I mean, I'm just telling you.
It's cool that you're that person, actually.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that my opinion is like, I feel like Infinity War was just an amazing movie. Endgame was obviously, it was really good.
But it was just addressing everything that it had to because of the amazingness that was Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just Infinity War Part 2. And it's not as good as the build-up of it was Part 1.
Yeah, I feel like that a lot of the meat and bones in Endgame, like they covered through so much so fast that I don't know. It's really hard to gauge it as well, you know. Like
yeah, but I think
it was convoluted.
I've seen so many other movies try to cover so much so fast, DC, and really just fuck it up and just butcher it and like. As compared to other, titles, DC, they did a very great job in showing so much into this fucking movie, and me really being not like, now they're just shoving so much into this fucking movie. It's just like, no, like everything shoved into this movie needs to be shoved into this movie. I feel that. Yeah.
So, what would you say that your rating post Endgame is?
A 1 out of 10. I'll give it a
holy shit
43.
Oh, okay.
We thought you just gave it a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought you just said 1 out of 10. I was like, whoa, I'm not even that harsh. Like, I'm still at like a 8. I would say like an 8.
Ed Ray, out of 1 out of 10, what would you rate this?
Obviously a 1 out of 10.
There we go. Somebody had to do
it. The 1, or are you just telling me?
There's only one good thing about the movie, but I'm not going to explain it here.
Yeah. Because honestly, I would say like. Personally, I don't feel fulfilled after watching it.
Man,
but
it's crazy
like,
I feel so fulfilled right now.
I know I'm like more on his side of things, but overall, I think that their way of covering the story and tying up loose ends, etc., and giving the fans what they want as well, I would say that that's an 8. That I think they did an 8 out of 10 job on the movie. Personally, like I'm more of like kind of around his ballpark of like what I felt like.
I just really loved how they promised that they're gonna tie. Oh, well, there's actually one promise that I felt was barely reached, and I'll get into that in the spoiler review. But they promised that they're gonna basically tie up and bring to an end almost every single story arc that they've been building and rising and falling and rising and falling, and you've seen all of this character growth and these characters go through so much. And they're promising that you're going to see the fruits of their labor. You're going to see where these characters finally end their story arc. And they delivered on every single Avenger. Like, they wrapped up like everything that they set out to do with the beginning of these characters.
So I've got a question for all of us that I want to ask, but I want to let Adam real quick kind of Give your spiel.
his-
Yeah,
yeah.
you've been so quiet.
Because you can't talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
I've got a. I'd give it a. I guess an 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a real rating is 10 out of 10.
Is there-
no, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Well, the thing
Is there anything else you want to cover about it? Yeah,
I think
go ahead.
I think that it's weird. I feel at peace with the movie.
I feel at peace with the movie.
Movies.
So see, that's a good feeling to have too.
It's what it is. It's just kind of like, yeah, that was pretty good, pretty good. It didn't
You think it did its job?
did its job. I think the movie did its job really, really well, and that's all you can ask for it.
I feel like you were saying the movie did its job really, really well, but it did not exceed at its job.
Well, I wouldn't say that it exceeded expectation, because you got to understand, like, exceed expectations means that I want, like, Gambit to drop out of the sky and fucking throw a bunch of cards. We all want everything.
The X-Men come out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
Look, here's I'll put it in maybe better terms. Two Towers had really crazy stuff, and it left you emotionally like, holy shit, what's coming next? Return of the King didn't have as much crazy stuff, but it's overall the better movie, even though it didn't give you the greatest, the funnest feeling, or the funnest, like, holy shit, excitement. I feel like Endgame is the Avengers, Return of the King, and Infinity War is Two Towers, where you had all the crazy stuff, all the holy shit, what's gonna happen next, and so.
Man, I'm so the opposite.
Yeah,
And so
I was
the-
going to say my favorite's Two Towers. I'm not going to lie.
No, well, I'm like so the opposite on Avengers. Like, I feel like I've like never literally like on the edge of your seat is such an expression that it's like, oh man, I'm on the edge of my seat as I'm sitting as far back in my seat as I can, because it's just an expression. But for the first time ever, I found myself literally on the edge of my seat, leaning forward, like, oh my god.
Oh no!
Yeah, I will say, I think that, like, there hasn't been another movie in our lifetime that has drummed up as much interest
Like
as
10
what I
years,
felt
22
going
movies.
into this movie and wanting to know. Because you get to a certain point in the movie, we won't go into it yet, but you get to a certain point where it makes you just question literally everything. And it comes pretty fast, too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I know the point you're talking about. Yeah.
So at that point, you have to sit there. The everything is wide open. And you don't know where anything's going to go.
The direction,
and I was so pleased by that point.
The direction they went in with the storyline and specific events that unfolded and things they did scared me for a moment, because I was like, no, you can't, don't do this trope.
Exactly.
You're doing this trope.
It's like, oh no, it's all.
But they did it well. They did it okay.
Yeah, we won't go into it just yet. But so the question that I want to ask everybody is, this is going to be a hard one, but who is your favorite Avenger?
That is such a hard one.
Hold on. And who was your favorite Avenger in this movie?
I guess Thor.
Man, Captain America is my favorite Avenger. And, it's hard to say. Like, yeah, Thor was close to my favorite Avenger in this movie. Like, and, I can't say without spoiling why. I can't say why without spoilers. But, God, no, I just want to still say that, like, I've enjoyed Captain America's entire story arc and everything that he stood for, and like the decisions he's made in the act, is even his fucking fight choreography. Just I like, Captain America has been without contest my favorite Avengers without having to think about it, and Endgame just enforced that.
Yeah. Good answer.
Okay, and so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try the second beer.
Well, hold up. That was you were the only one that you said Thor. Was it like a blanket statement? Like
Yeah.
Thor for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Edric?
Overall, it's gonna be Iron Man. But as far as Endgame is concerned, I'd probably say the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good answer. He deserves a lot of attention for like a lot of
where this story went with it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that overall, Spider-Man has always been my favorite Avenger, but since the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would say Thor is, honestly, because Thor is like he's awesome. He
really
I don't know,
is.
I for some reason found him relatable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
it's
funny.
because of all of my ab muscles. Yeah. That's why I was like, yes, definitely relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my long golden hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard question to sit there and decide which one, but yeah, it's Spider-Man originally, but since the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor.
Yeah, see, Thor's a close second, and of course Iron Man. It's hard to answer that question. I love them all.
In the same vein, I think that Thor was relatable to me. Though I loved the story of where they went with Tony Stark.
Yeah. Oh my God! Like that was great. And dude, like let's review this beer here.
There's so much character,
so we can open this freaking massive can of worms.
Development. Whereas I feel like a lot of the parts of the movie there wasn't. But all right, so with that, I guess we're gonna what?
Our second beer of the day. We have our second beer of the day. It's called the Mole. It's from the Hellfighter series. It is a ale brewed with chilies, cinnamon, cumin, chocolate, then aged in bourbon barrels. It is 11. I think they're all 11. 11.8% alcohol by volume.
It says it on the box. If they were all different, it probably wouldn't say 11.8 on the box.
So the Mole, man. We're gonna try this beer.
So you said this one has cumin and chilies,
cumin, chili,
cinnamon,
and chocolate,
and
cinnamon, and
just aged in bourbon barrels. Okay,
I'm scared.
Okay. Gonna be interesting. Cheers, guys.
Hell Hydra.
Cheers, guys. Hell Hydra.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to.
Here's to your favorite characters dying or possibly not dying.
Yeah. Oh man, that is just weird.
That's interesting.
My tongue's doing flips. My mind's blowing. Oh,
see, that's such a different taste than the horchata, right? Like.
And a lot of brews, a lot of beers will be like, we have this in our ingredients, we have this and we have that, and you don't taste none of that because it's just like kind of part of the process of giving you the specific taste, But this,
are you tasting chili and cumin?
I'm tasting chili, cumin, and chocolate, and I'm tasting it all. Yeah. And they fucked up somewhere. They didn't finish.
No. See, I think that they did what they set out to do. Well,
have all those flavors.
There's so much good flavor. The flavors are resonating so strong in this. Like, it's good. And I think that it's a healthy balance of flavors. Here's the problem, though. The flavors that they put in here aren't good flavors to mix. Exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing to me?
Chili and cumin and chili.
And
Do you want a chili
cumin.
beer? Like a chili chocolate beer?
Oh, God.
That's why it's the Mole.
With cinnamon?
It's the Mole.
Okay.
Isn't it a Mole and mixed drink? Isn't that what they put in it? Chilies and...
A Mole? Oh, I don't know. Good
Okay. Sounds,
Let's give us a quick rating and we're going to go into this shit.
5. 6. It's not bad.
Well,
it just raises nothing but question marks, but it's not bad.
Gauge it do two numbers. Do two ratings. One, how do you like this beer?
And how do I think other people would actually like this beer?
Or like, maybe their design, the way that they... Because, like, I'm going to say in their craft process, I think they did an excellent job in the craft process.
Yeah.
They made the beer that they wanted. I'd say it's like a 9 on a craft process. From what I like or whatever, I would say that it's much smaller of a number.
Yeah, no, like, I agree with that entire...
I would say overall, like, I'm going to average at 7 because they really did do a perfect job on the crafting process. It's just
that's what like for
not
crafting. I'll
that
give
I
them
like,
a 9, but like for like my own personal taste, I'm sticking with the 6.
Yeah, I'll do a 5.5, 6.
Yeah, it's just,
it doesn't blow you away. It doesn't taste good. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't
like
taste
I said,
good.
it's a bunch of things that should never be mixed together. And whenever he's naming them off, I was thinking, oh, that's okay. Breweries put through weird shit in their beer all the time, and you don't taste it. It's just part of the process. No, you taste this.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. See, and the thing is like this comes in a 4-pack, right?
Yeah.
So only maybe like 2 of these beers would I really want to drink out of this 4-pack, which is kind of sad because those first initial ones, the original porter and the bourbon porter, like even though the bourbon was really strong in that porter, like it still was pretty high up there on the rating. Like I think it tasted pretty good. These other 2 that we tried tonight, ooh, I don't know.
They're just too temperamental.
So I didn't like Hulk. I didn't like that he was the way he was. I thought that he was trash.
Hold on,
and
hold on.
man,
Okay, so this is the part where we need to let the
Spoiler.
let
Hulk wasn't
everyone
good.
know.
Spoiler warning.
So things the trailer things the trailer teased you on.
Spoiler warning.
Carol Danvers does not go with them to the past like the trailer showed.
Oh, wait, did
Thor,
the trailer show her?
Yes.
Yeah,
And what?
Thor.
yeah, they showed her.
Thor does not look the way he does, like he does in the trailer. They definitely hid that. They hid what Thor was gonna look like.
See, I would
I
say
noticed
whenever
that,
whenever they were talking about having a hidden person or whatever in the trailer, like it was like, oh, there's this big outline where somebody else could be here. Every internet theory commented on
Did
that.
it was Carol Danvers, but the whole time
No,
that's probably
no,
Thor.
no.
It was. I think that it was just Thor.
No.
He just
Yeah,
was
'cause they-
bigger.
No,
Yeah.
and then after Captain Marvel came out and they showed that she's a part of the group, a trailer showed with her in that spot after that theory came out. So they actually made a trailer with her in that spot to coincide with the theory to throw people off.
But so like I can't even recall in the trailer. It shows Carol Danvers in the
In the
quantum
walking,
suit?
yeah, in the walking.
Like she had the red and
Yes.
yellow and Avengers symbol right there. suit.
Yes, it was
I
that.
do not recall that.
Yeah, it was there.
Okay, well I gotta say on regards of
So are we
Hulk-
just immediately going to
Yes, we
things
are.
that piss us off?
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah, okay. Well, like things that I didn't straight up hate what they did with Hulk. It kind of was like
It got annoying
Yeah, it did.
so
kinda,
quick. I wanted one or the other.
I know, right?
I didn't want both.
and I kind of got.
I wanted Edward
You
Norton.
don't get Hulk.
I
That's
wanted
just
Edward
like
Norton
a
Hulk.
strong Bruce Banner.
Yeah, it's no. What's in the no? It is a comic book. There's a comic book version of
No,
this.
I know
no.
it's Professor Hulk.
Professor
I know.
Hulk.
But
And this, it was theorized too. Like
yeah,
almost
and everyone
every
theor-
internet theory
was fucking
right.
spot on. Oh yeah, and I forget that was theorized. But what pissed me off is Kevin Feige. He teased that the Hulk is gonna have his own story arc, split up between 3 movies: Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame. And I feel like he had a story arc in Ragnarok and Infinity War, and his Endgame story arc happened off camera. And we cut to Endgame, and you meet Hulk, and he just tells you about his story arc that happened off camera.
Yeah.
You know?
So I want
don't
to comment
see
on
him.
this too because like at the end credits or whatever they were showing all the different main Avengers with their signatures and stuff too.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when I saw Mark Ruffalo up there in the Hulk, I was like, I don't even feel like he belongs as a character. Like I don't think that they've utilized the Hulk the way that they should have utilized him in the past like fucking 7 movies. Or
Yeah,
something.
and they feel like because then they're not utilizing
like, I don't
Bruce
feel
Banner.
like he's
which,
an Avenger anymore. Like,
yeah, and like, and again, it's
he's a
because
main he's a main character,
and they're
Always
afraid
has
that
been.
like maybe if the Hulk is too important of an Avenger, then Bruce Banner won't be, and they want Bruce Banner to be just as important as the Hulk. But now they're making the Hulk not important, you know.
Yeah.
And this mixture is like, yeah, he got the Hulk strength, and that's all cool. But like, I guess it's really just the comedy of dumb Hulk. Oh,
Yeah.
like, no, you dumb, you stupid, I'm stronger, bitch. All the comedy that you got from Hulk in Ragnarok, basically, you'll never get that again.
They did get the lazy Hulk comedy,
Yeah.
where he's like, "Oh man."
Oh no, dude, that was fucking
that was
golden.
funny.
That was like, yeah, okay. So, complete spoiler here. I guess,
Yeah, well, that's fine. We're assuming that you've seen this movie or you don't.
yeah. At
care.
this point, if you haven't seen this movie, you either don't care, or you shouldn't be here. You know.
You know, or some people just want to get.
So what were you
theories
saying?
before they know whether they should go see it?
When Hulk goes back in time, when they all go back in time, and the Hulk actually has to, or Professor Hulk has to act like the primitive Hulk. That was fucking hilarious. He's like, oh man, what does he say? He's like, I find this very
Demeaning or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, I find this very demeaning. And he's like, oh, I'm Hulk, I'm And just, you know, you can't even explain the scene. You gotta see it, dude. It's so fucking funny.
So,
Ed Ray, what's your
Ed Ray,
thoughts on
start
the
your timer. You have 15 minutes on the clock.
You want to let him go ahead and rant?
Do his rant.
Well, talk about the Hulk first, and then start your rant. We'll give you time.
Well, basically, the Hulk was somewhat annoying, but he was probably the most tolerable character out of everybody in the film, so that was probably one of the few positives that I could say about the film. Now, as far as the film is concerned, there was a good backstory to start the film. I mean, if you want to say that this backstory came off the hills of Infinity War, let it be.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm not going to read too much into it, but as far as the first 30 minutes of the film was concerned, it was completely boring. My eyes closed twice during the first 30 minutes of the film.
I'm in complete agreement. Like, look, I know that's a hard thing to say, but yeah. Like, it was, like, there was a couple of things that happened that, yeah, they were, like,
interesting and important.
That's what we wanted. Yeah. That's what everyone here wanted. But after they reached that point, it was a bunch of people fucking kicking rocks with their shoes for a while, trying to figure shit out. And it was like, guys, we came to this movie because we've already endured this. We've already endured this for, like, a year.
That was after 30 minutes.
Well, nonetheless, let me finish this. Okay. Nonetheless, the dialogue... there was too much dialogue in the film. I mean, do we really need? I think
it's too much dialogue.
Well, do we really need 3 hours to listen to people talk over stones and other stuff like that? And the action was kind of bland.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I mean,
I gotta give it to him, dude. Gauge Infinity War's action versus this one. I feel like this one was more realistic, more brutal.
Like, this one was dialogue-driven, storyline-driven, and plot-driven, and there's a climactic action sequence. But other than that, action was not what was driving this film.
I know, but I wanna agree with him because, like, dude, we got like 2.5 hours of like talking and like 30 to 40 minutes of fighting.
Yeah,
and I
really,
okay with that. For the kind of like Avengers finish up scene, I really wanted 3 hours of non-stop Two Towers style fighting.
Black Panther got an Oscar. They want their movie to get an Oscar.
Okay. Now, the thing about the dialogue was, number one, it was hard to keep up with all the dialogue. I mean, there were times when, like I said, I wanted to go to sleep because we don't need all this sort of dialogue. And then the jokes, where were the jokes in the film? I did not laugh once.
What the fuck? I was wondering.
There were about two places where,
I was wondering how, like, because someone was like, yeah, this one's just as funny as all the other Avengers movies. It's like, it's so dark. How are they going to accomplish that? But they did, like, yeah, and it's not as funny as all the other Avengers movies. I'm going to tell you that right now, that it's not. But it's because of the situation.
Somebody, like, gets turned into dust, and then they're like, get out the broom.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because of the situation that, like, it was less funny, but they were still, like, geniuses to work that perfect comedy in there at a perfect time in a perfect way that makes it funny and relevant. And there was just not that many opportunities to do that, so there was just less humor as a result.
Well, it's not just less humor that killed the quality of the film. It's just the type of jokes that they shoehorned. I mean, it was just so cliched, it wasn't even funny.
Oh, that's always been Marvel style.
I mean, I hate to agree with you, Ed Ray, but
I
agree with everything you're saying.
No, man.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the original Avengers. This movie made me want to see the original Avengers again because the storyline was so well thought out. And, of course, Stan Lee was alive to oversee whatever there was back in the day.
Oh, do you think that there's a disconnect now?
No.
Yeah, because when Stan Lee died...
Endgame was done before Stan Lee ever died.
Yeah,
but having a cameo even in this film.
Okay.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, Stan Lee didn't have the kind of energy... Stan Lee did not have the kind of energy to oversee stuff to make sure that the quality of the film was a lot better. I mean, age was catching up to him, don't get me wrong. But the main thing that killed this movie was, of course, Disney owning Marvel. I mean, Disney kills everything it touches, and Marvel is one of them.
Disney has brought Marvel to life in a way that no other company would have ever done this.
I mean, I agree with both of you on
if this was Universal, you know?
Because I feel like Disney has taken like Star Wars and kind of raped it, and just kind of let it go. I think with Captain Marvel, a lot of people, maybe not I or any of you guys think this, but a lot of people out there do think that they raped that story and set it adrift,
and made it a feminist message.
and then there's a lot.
Did y'all catch the feminist message in Endgame?
Well, they did. There are going to be internet people that are going to be mad about that one scene. I'm not mad about it. I thought it was cool.
Dude, and,
but there are going to be those
weirdo
assholes.
Oh, look at them fucking shoving their political agenda in my movie. But after taking a step back and calming down, it's like
that one. They at least used.
Yeah.
They used lube.
It's not a
they used
bad
lube.
Let me.
statement. Like girl power. I'm not gonna fucking step up. And
Let me tell you something.
No girl power. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When Marvel was an independent film company that did comic books into films, 95% of the films from Marvel during the independent period were actually good. They were actually something that would keep.
Actual opposite.
No.
And they stopped. They were thinking about never doing another Marvel movie again, and then came along Iron Man.
Yeah. Well, anyway. 95% of the films from Marvel were good when Marvel was independent, and then when Disney bought out Marvel, that was when things started going downhill. This is one of the reasons why I never wanted to see a Marvel movie ever again, but I was talked into it because maybe it would have been good, maybe it was not. I was still going to reserve my judgment for after the film.
I remember thinking that right when Disney bought Marvel.
Oh, man, I agree with you. God damn it. Because, you gotta understand Marvel, whenever they went all in on Iron Man and a couple of other things, they were doing so with the fact that they had full creative control over all of their content. And so they were able to make their stories correct. Yes, and
Disney never fully owned Marvel until after the first Avengers.
No shit. But still, it's been Kevin Feige since
and
the beginning.
I'm not saying that Disney did bad. I think that the jokes that they obviously in were good. I think that it was.
You can pinpoint the moment where Disney fully took over, because then it became a fucking comedy.
Yeah, the whole first Avengers was
there's some
it changed the way that
in
modern movies are fucking perceived.
And Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. There's some jokes, but those are serious movies. Then comes along the first Avengers, and there were so many jokes in there. I was almost upset. That was damn near borderline comedy.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this though, the ending scene with Captain America being old, and of course the Iron Man dead. That was perhaps the best 30 minutes of a closing scene ever in cinematic history. It glued you in. It cued you in on what was going to happen and how things concluded. I was almost emotional at the death of the Iron Man.
I was.
Dude, I was so emotional.
When Tony Stark died, I was so convinced that that's not what I'm witnessing here.
Okay,
I
so
actually got teared up whenever
I teared up when Black Widow died.
Oh yeah, Black Widow died.
Spider-Man showed back up, and they're kind of hugging it out or whatever.
Oh yeah.
No,
dude, the way it's like the way that Hawkeye and Black Widow fought vigorously.
Hold on, real
against
quick.
each other.
We're about to get into. Both of y'all have some real big shit to get into. I wanted to bring up one thing. Do you think that Avengers Endgame is totally revolutionizing the way that movies are going to be perceived, like the way that the original Avengers did?
Yes and no. I believe that they're revolutionizing it in a way that they have done something here that no one has ever done before. But I don't believe that there's going to be people that follow in their wake, because I don't believe anything else can do that. It is just so, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just so particular and has been built so methodically and placed together. Nothing is an accident, nothing is unimportant in any of these 22 movies. And it all comes together. And they delivered on fucking everything from a one-liner in a 2008 movie. They brought it back for this fucking 2019 fucking everything. You know, the whole Captain America saying I can do this all day. Oh, that was so great. Yeah. I can do this all day. I know.
What do you think, Adam? And then we'll let Ed Ray finish up and then go to his next point.
Yeah, I love all the throwback lines and all the time travel stuff. All that was fun. The Thor being obese was a sidestep out of nowhere. Him being a fat slob.
God, I hope he doesn't stay
dude,
I hope he's back to
dude,
normal.
I don't know what you're talking about. The first 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes was so epic and crazy. The fact that the opening scene, there was no like title or nothing. There's this opening scene was so dark.
Oh, yeah.
And so dark for Hawkeye. And then you go in, and then Thor, he chops off Thanos' head, and that's fucking brutal.
Oh, dude, and that made me start like questioning.
And dude,
immediately.
like I was.
Yeah, that was the point I was talking about earlier. That makes you just be like, what's this movie doing?
Yeah, what's going on? And I kind of agree. You know, I don't agree, but like.
Well, do you think the point is though? Do you think that it's like going to revolutionize and change the way that movies are perceived now? How the original Avengers did, because like we were talking about, the original Avengers made it to where you have to have some type of giddy comedy. Like
that's every movie. That's every movie now.
But it wasn't as big. Yeah, no, it's every movie now. But that's
now,
what I'm saying. Because of the success of the Avengers.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it's just the thing. Let Ed Ray finish his point.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give my final thoughts on the Avengers Endgame. Bottom line, it sucked compared to the original because the original was funny, it was well timed, well delivered. I'm just gonna say overall, I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10.
Jesus fucking Christ!
God. I mean, hey, you're entitled to your
opinion. Is he?
Well, no. I mean, like. He's got some really good points. Yeah. I do agree with a lot of what he's saying. I personally wouldn't rate it that low, like because I did enjoy myself. Like, I did enjoy myself, and I think that the stuff that I wanted to see that I wasn't able to see, that's on me though. You know, because I had already built up these expectations.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of a 10 instead of a 10 straight.
Wait, why?
Because there was a thing or two, like literally like one thing that I just wanted.
Okay, so let's get into that. What would you have liked to
I
have
wanted
seen?
more of Captain Marvel and Thanos going toe to toe, and that happened for a brief moment. I'm like, here we fucking go, and it was over just as briefly as it started. Yeah, and that was everyone was speculating what's gonna happen when Captain Marvel and Thanos finally go toe to toe. And it was like so fucking insignificant.
Probably between both fight scenes, it was about 40 seconds to a minute of her fighting.
Yeah, and it's just like that is like they built up Captain Marvel.
That's even including
way
the
more
ship takedown.
Yeah, and, dude, and that was fucking epic.
The ship takedown was cool.
Oh, dude,
but you've seen that in the movie.
Yeah,
in her movie, or how she can just go through ships and
they did kind of deliver.
Well, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, they did kind of deliver how they brought the same powers that Captain Marvel used in the Captain Marvel movie to Endgame, and she did those things, and she took down a ship by straight up just flying through it, and that was a way bigger ship than any of the ships in Captain Marvel.
Right.
But they just did that really quick, almost just to please the fans. Like, she wasn't really important at all, but they made her out to be important, and it's like they almost forgot.
Because she's too powerful to be important. She don't care.
Yeah, and the yeah, I don't know.
But also, I feel like one of the reasons why they did limit her time in the entire thing was because they wanted to be able to show what the Avengers were capable of doing still. But
and not be saved by her.
Yeah, but also not because she was apparently, like, I guess, overpowered or something.
Yeah.
That, like, it wouldn't just be immediately over. And that's one of the things I do think that they did really well.
Oh, yeah.
Showing at the very beginning was that, like, once they went in to fight and kill Thanos, like, at the beginning, like they did it, and they did it relatively easy.
Oh, I know. It's
there was-
damn, like Thanos just wrecked their whole fucking lives in Infinity War, and they finally catch up to
Yeah,
Thanos,
yeah.
and they just beat his fucking ass.
He
But
fucking- the very first
but
scene,
he's
they
injured.
cut off
He's
his
injured.
arm.
Yeah, he's injured. He's literally disabled from destroying the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
and that's why that's the only reason why they were able to do that then and not do that in Infinity War. Also, Carol Danvers. She didn't even do much. It was mostly Thor.
That was cool though. Thor chops his arm off.
Yeah, it chops his arm off, like, fuck you in your gauntlet. And then, like, he was about to give some fucking evil fucking dialogue. Or some, not even necessarily
Yeah.
evil, just some dialogue. And Thor's just like, nope.
Yeah, he was like trying to be like, oh, maybe I was too harsh on you.
Yeah, and then Thor's like, too late. Don't
late.
care.
So you think past Thanos was a little bit more evil than?
He was, and that is like has to do.
Past Thanos had me quivering in my boots.
And that was no accident. And it's like, it's not like I don't feel like it's
he was
as far.
driven because he hadn't accomplished.
Yeah,
what he
and I
wanted
don't
to
think
yet.
it's as far. And also, he's younger. Like, you get like more mellow with age.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was like them trying to write an accident. Like, oh, we wrote Thanos to be too
But
soft.
that was like it had only been like 5 years prior, right?
Yeah, but like, or maybe like 6 when you compare like how long ago they went back.
Yeah.
Like the 5 years that they, or maybe even 7 years. Maybe no, it was more. It's like they went back like 5 years.
It was like 10
5 years
years
went by,
because
and
it
then
was
they
a
went
5
back
year
5
thing.
years. So
Yeah.
it was like
No,
10
no,
years.
past 5 years.
Yeah, they went back like 7. They went back 10 years.
Well, because
They went back 15
they
years.
went to 2014, which at one point in time. Then they want. I want
went
to
to
say
2012.
I think they did go to like 2011 though. I want to say they did. So that's.
No, I
almost 10
think
years.
2012 and the events of New York was as far back as they went. I think.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know when Guardians take place.
So that's like
Oh
about,
yeah, that
the
might
first
be-
well,
Guardians?
that's about 10 years, and then it
The
was
first
an
Guardians?
extra 5 years.
Was the I think
well,
the
look,
first-
look. There was an extra 5 years on top of how far they went back into the
Yeah.
past. So yeah, it's
What
like
is
around
it-
13 or 14 years in the past. 14-year prior Thanos.
I think it was just genius how they fucking Thor kills Thanos, and then you're like, what the fuck is this movie gonna be about then? And then like you start thinking about the theories. There's theories out there that Thanos is immediately gonna be killed, and then this whole movie is actually gonna be about another big bad villain that none of us are fucking privy to. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be a complete fucking kick in the nuts
And
surprise.
That
like
was almost
fucking Galacticus
like
or
they
some
could,
shit.
They could have
Went that direction.
introduced
Yeah.
a totally different villain.
And the fact that they totally brought back a fucking Thanos from the past who figures out what the Avengers are doing in the past, then goes into the present, and he's like, now I can just do my shit here. And then, now we still have to fight Thanos. That was fucking genius.
yeah, it was really, I really appreciated that.
I like how Doctor Strange is like, yes, he tells him, this is the one. This is it. Like,
And it's also like him telling him, like, oh, hey, I've been withholding this information,
Iron Man.
but this
I
is the
said
part
Thanos.
where you die. You know, like
Yeah.
he wanted, like, he basically told him that in other words, you know?
Yeah.
Like, go die. Just go. Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, so I mean, Iron Man, he goes up there, he replaces, he switches arms with Thanos, and he snaps, and he kills all of Thanos and Thanos' army, and then he dies. And but Hulk brought everyone back. Hulk's all fried up, his arms all fried and in a sling.
And
And
I guess it's just as specific as
thinking.
I was
you
going
want.
to say that, like, thinking what you want and snapping.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have the power of reality and space and time in your hand, everything in your hand.
Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
just think what you want and then you snap.
Honestly, like I think the whole snapping
You can
thing
just be like Playboy
isn't-
Mansion.
You don't like if you want to go like comic book style, you don't even have to snap your fingers.
Yeah, you can just be like,
the snap was just a display of power that Thanos wanted to show. Was
Yeah,
all that he
yeah.
had to do was snap his fingers with the Infinity Stone. So I think that was a little cliched. How about we get into that though? How about we get into the differences
different
between like the Infinity Wars comics and what they did in the MCU? Because I think that's
Well, now
very
the difference
obviously
is
a totally big fucking gap.
Oh yeah, well, and it wasn't that big of a gap with There was obviously some huge changes with Infinity War. but there were some similarities, and it's like with Endgame, they just blew all those similarities out the water.
Yeah, no, Infinity War, I think they did
And
was
they
a
said
really
that.
good kind of retelling of the initial Infinity Wars, and then Endgame was just fucking.
And they said straight up,
there's
like
no Eternals or anything like that. No, there's
Noah, Adam Warlock.
yeah.
I feel like
Nebula didn't stop Thanos.
like
Helped.
and
She
by
helped, but,
the end,
she didn't get a hold of the gauntlet and then completely restore everything and kill Thanos, and then have the gods come down and stop her. Like that's what happened in the comics. So like, I don't know, man.
well, I think even though I think the Eternals will still be introduced. Adam Warlock will still be introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which they have what's his name? James Gunn? Is that the dude?
Yes. Yeah, the main director's back on it.
Yeah, he's back on it, and their original intentions were to introduce Adam Warlock then. And I think even though the Infinity Stone arc is over, it will like bleed into a arc about the what are they called? The Eternals?
The Eternals, yeah.
The Eternals and the Celestials, I think, are going to be
Celestials.
the next big thing.
Wait, is it Eternals next? They're like elements.
Well, yeah, but they also have some relation. Like the Eternals created the Celestials, and also the Infinity Stones. So like all that shit's like kind of
okay.
Like the one above all, and the Watcher, and what's the name? The Justice, the Superior Justice, or whatever. The Tribunal, Living Tribunal. Oh, yeah. That's what I meant.
Do you think there's gonna be like another device in the next phases?
like the Stones.
Yeah.
Like the
Gauntlet
22 more movies leading up to something like a Gauntlet.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Nah, because like that would just like it wouldn't be. It would just be a repeat. It wouldn't be as successful.
Well, I feel like they will have that mechanic in it. I think that they are going to have more devices similar to it.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's going to be a one shot. You know,
yeah,
like,
it's not going to be like 22 movies leading up to it like
by
they do
one
with the
movie,
Gauntlet.
and then they'll move on.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot more.
I don't think they're going to do this ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever again?
The Marvel movies.
I don't think they're ever going to do something like this.
Yeah, the Marvel
again.
movies I think are going to be more standalone. They're going to be intertwined and in the same universe, and characters are going to bounce back and forth between everybody's movies. There's going to be ensemble movies. It's going to stay that way, but
I guess so.
like they're not going to lead up to a specific event for 22 movies ever again.
Because they don't have any Avengers films set in stone yet.
Yeah, no.
Like anymore, like
they had every single movie set in stone, and all the way up to this point. Now
they have movies set in stone. They just don't have any Avengers set in stone.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well that's all right. They had every single Avenger set in stone,
But we don't know what all they're going to do with. That's another thing. In November, Disney launches Disney Plus, and it's going to have a lot more Marvel stuff, Marvel
and
TV shows
gonna, like,
with the characters.
Fuck with the canon. That's just gonna like have to do with the canon.
Yeah, I mean because Marvel's making like 3 TV series featuring the Avenger characters,
and that scares me.
Like Black Widow's getting her own thing.
Obviously, prequel.
Black Widow.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just kidding. But they kind of they brought back that one agent for Agents.
No, who did I say?
Even though
Black
he died
Widow.
in the main.
No, not Black Widow.
Yeah, she's getting her own movie later.
No, not Black Widow.
That's the reason why
Powers.
they haven't announced the movies.
She has powers.
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, my bad.
Yeah, she's getting her own series. And Winter Soldier and Falcon are getting their own series. Doctor Strange Doctor Strange is getting his own series.
I think Doctor Strange is getting his own series.
But it's Netflix TV Marvel series.
Are you sure on that?
Yeah,
because like they just finished up. So that means it'll be 7 years before we see a Daredevil movie.
Yeah, or no, maybe not a movie, but like
Disney
with that character.
Disney Plus is dropping with like a lot of shit.
Yeah, but they can't touch.
I think Disney Plus is dropping with Endgame. I think Endgame is going to be on there as soon as it drops. All these series are going to be on. I know the Mandalorian is going to be on.
It's going to be 7 years before you see or maybe not. Like I may have the number wrong. It's a fucking long ass time. Maybe like 3 or 4 years, but it's many years before that you'll see Daredevil or fucking Iron Fist or Luke Cage, any of those superheroes you've seen on Netflix. There's a clause that makes them wait years to use it, if they cancel on Netflix, which they did. So they have to wait years.
So okay,
Well, they didn't
here's a
cancel,
question
they
I
just
want
bought
to
out of the contract.
add on to that. In reference to the extended universe or whatever, how do X-Men, mutants, and all of that play into this world
To the
now?
MCU?
Because it's almost like there's no room for them anymore.
No, there is.
Oh man, I almost
But
agree.
they're gonna have to come up with a whole new storyline for them. But I bet you it's gonna be all that radiation that the first snap caused. Because
Are
you
they
know
gonna
the
be getting like soft reboots. Or
No,
what?
that'd be
because the
weird.
wor-
It'd be
because-
so weird. It's just gonna be so weird if they're like, okay, now there's mutants. Something happened, and today's there wasn't mutants yesterday, but
And
now
see,
today there are.
and
no, I
mutants.
think they're gonna stay. Yeah, no, I think that's how they're gonna do it.
I
And
agree. I
that-
agree.
that's
I
just, like,
think that-
annoying.
I think that that's what they're gonna do, and I feel the same way. I feel like
It
we're,
fucks up
we're
almost
getting robbed.
every
you know?
single one of these mutant stories. Like, I've been a mutant since the 40s. Well, not now. Now you haven't. Now you were, you just
maybe.
became a mutant in 2019.
Maybe they're all-
Charles Xavier.
It's like, why are they hiding? Who knows?
Yeah.
That is confusing.
Spider-Man was a mutant before Logan.
Yeah.
How do you fix that?
I think maybe with a bunch of retconning. Like, what if we consider, even though that their events never intertwined, then the X-Men movies were in the same unit? No, that doesn't fucking work at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if it's like?
No,
that-
I
how
was
they're
just like
saying-
thinking about that as I said it. Like, wait, this doesn't work. That doesn't work. This doesn't. My theory doesn't work. But I'm gonna keep trying to go with my theory, and then it's just like, no, it's not working.
What if they treat X-Men the same way they did like Ant-Man? How they're saying that Ant-Man was just tiny in a lot of the different Marvel scenes. What if like Charles Xavier is just like covering up
Just
all the
thinking
mutants?
himself
Yes,
out of existence.
like they're all just like super invisible while all this stuff is going on, doing
Oh
mutant
man, that's just
stuff.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, I think it
I
might
mean, what's her
be
name was
a-
apparently there during the first Avengers. You seen her? She's like just chilling,
Who?
looking. The girl from Doctor
Rogue?
Strange.
Oh, what girl from
The
Doctor-
lady.
Oh, you're saying that she was there, like
Oh,
she was
yeah, how
there, but she
could have
was
done something, but she didn't.
I understand what you're saying, but she was
there. Yeah.
she was in the new. She knew the Avengers had it handled, I guess. You're saying
But she was there.
Yeah, she was.
No one knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be right.
Oh, I'm thinking about that too, because like I wouldn't go as far as saying
I
that.
don't want to be right, by the way.
I wouldn't go as far as saying as all the events of these X-Men movies happen, they just like didn't coincide with the events of the MCU, because that just doesn't fucking work.
What if Disney?
But it will be
brings
like,
back
hey, we've been here.
X-Men and then kills
Don't-
them off. In the
They're just gonna be like,
same
don't
movie.
think we've been here.
Kinda like
I know
how they
you
did
ain't seen
Quicksilver.
us, but we have been here. Just don't think into it too much. Let's move forward.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I wanted Quicksilver and Magneto in this movie.
Quicksilver, Magneto.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that Storm was a love interest to T'Challa, to the
Yeah.
Black dude, I think that's a perfect opportunity to introduce
Next
the
Black
X-Men.
Panther, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what you do is in Black Panther 2, you introduce Storm and go from there.
No. You seen Black Panther 2? He's a cop.
Yeah. Do y'all think that they're going to be
Oh,
expanding on
yeah.
some of these movies now? Do you think they're going to be expanding on some of these movies now?
Like, what do you mean? Expanding on
Like, are we going
their
to see a Black Panther 2? Are we going to see a Captain Marvel 2?
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
gonna see
yeah.
Another, like, set in stone. I know they announced them, but some things sit in development hell, you know?
well, things rarely sit in development hell for, like, Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel.
They got, like, 2 titles that sat in development hell, and, like, one of them came out.
But yeah, so I guess final thoughts on the movie. We're gonna get deeper into comic book fandom and comic book storylines closer to July when Spider-Man comes out and officially closes out Phase 3, because apparently Phase 3 is not over yet. Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, is going to close out Phase 3. Who was your most shocking death?
Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow was shocking to me.
Because, like, man, and I want to say how they totally ended Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, Captain America, and didn't kill him off. I thought that was very fucking nice how they did that.
That was
like,
crazy.
Your first thought was like, all right, we got this actor's contract is ending. We got to write him out. Fucking death. every time they just immediately go to that without even thinking about it for a millisecond. Like, guess we gotta kill him. But kind of like they did with Paul Walker and Fast and the Furious, and they went a different route. Like, no, we don't have to kill him.
I feel like with Iron Man, we kind of all saw that coming.
Yeah,
because he almost died in the first one.
And
Like,
also
they implied that he was going to die in the first one and the second one.
And you just kind of felt how like it all started with him. It's going to end with him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one thing I want to comment
And it would have been
about
irritating
is,
if they killed off Iron Man and Captain America. That would have been like, all right, well, now you're just fucking tugging on my heartstrings.
now they're just doing it just to do it. In a way, they kind of did, but it's not
dude,
exactly
I thought that was kind of dumb. Like, it totally resonated with me. It was emotional and it was climactic, and I see why they did it, and it was a great end for the Captain America character. But like, why the fuck did he do that? Like, I thought he'd already come to terms with the fact that he's in this time and presence, but then he's like, "I'm going back to." Did he?
I mean, I don't blame him.
I
understand. I kind of wanted it
like
too.
the Falcon
As
and
soon as I
Bucky,
saw him-
or Falcon and Bucky are gonna be like, "All right, you're gonna be back in 5 seconds, right?" And he's
as
like,
soon as I
"I'm
saw
fucking
him,
lying to
I
you."
knew that was what happened because I was like,
Like, he
he's
had
gonna
every
be
intentions
old,
on coming back,
and
but
then
then
I
he's
thought,
seen
like, why is he
Peggy.
gonna be old? And I was like, it's because he found that he spent more time with his love.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. He lived out the time.
But
I just
now-
didn't know if he was going to be
that's- dude,
young.
That's uncharacteristic because
young
Captain America's not that
Captain America?
selfish. Like, it's not about him. He's like, I need to be in the. He would.
Yeah, but he's been pretty selfless for a while. I think
Meaning-
that it's about time.
Meaning that he's incapable of turning it off. Like, he
Yeah.
should have thought, no, I need to go back to the past back to the present in case anything happens
But-
and I need to be there.
But that's
for
the thing is
not,
that
oh, they got
Tony
this.
Stark, whenever Tony Stark died,
Yeah.
that flipped his switch. It
If
finally
anything,
flipped his switch.
it
and
should
made
be
him
like, especially
dude,
with Tony Stark being dead, I should be
I
there.
should really be
yeah,
there.
I know,
Yeah.
but like,
I mean, that they don't know of any more battles to be fought. Like
they don't
It's-
really even
it's-
know of Thanos, but they just knew of the probability of something like that happening. And then Iron Man's like, see, I was fucking right, you know?
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
So the only one that I'm dissatisfied with is
Wait, is he alive now though?
Who?
Because he didn't go back.
Who?
Captain America.
Yeah, but he's ancient. No one cares anymore.
No, because he didn't go back to the present. Now he made us alternate timeline.
What?
Because he made an alternate timeline by not going back to the present.
No, see,
Because that's the whole thing. Because the whole thing was
they were kind of intertwining in alternate timelines and just one natural timeline.
because he had to put everything back.
I mean, but they were trying to say that like also meddling somehow didn't change the
no,
past
but
or
she
whatever?
showed but the lady on the rooftop shows how it does create an alternate timeline.
when you fuck with major things like
Yeah,
that.
but then he had the idea of putting everything back. He would have had to put everything back
What
and then
if-
jump back to the present.
Yeah, but what if
No,
like what
just
if
putting
only
everything
a
back
little
was
bit
enough.
of things like being
him jumping back to the
changed?
president that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
It would have because he's still in the past.
No, what if only a certain amount of
Like,
things
there's two
being
Captain Americas in the
changed?
past.
It has to be.
No, he went way back. I think he went way back.
So he wasn't
like
in the fight
went,
in New York.
No, he was. But then
There was
like
the
he
other
went
Captain
back.
America.
While he was back enjoying his life, he was simultaneously frozen in the ice. And then there was a moment where there's two Captain Americas on the Earth. One
Yes.
just chilling with Peggy Carter. And yeah, see, that's a continuity error because
But that's
Peggy
what
Carter
what
would
I'm
always
trying to
had
say
memories of growing old with him.
is
instead
that
of
it doesn't matter if just a few things are changed, that won't impact all of time and space.
But that's
But
a major
but
thing.
like,
It will create a separate time- no,
Like,
but it
the
will create a
Infinity
separate timeline.
Stones is something that would make that happen.
No, well,
but
the fact that
not fucking where Captain
but
it
America
doesn't fuck
sleeps
things
at night.
up. But it's just weird how
It does fuck.
it's not mentioned that there's a Captain America out there growing old and chilling with Peggy Carter while there's a Captain America simultaneously fighting.
Yeah, well, I mean,
in New York.
there probably
And the
is
fact that
like
Peggy
he
Carter never
probably
mentioned that,
explained it to her.
No, but he
No.
had to erase that timeline.
Oh, what about the fact that
the
he
timeline's not erased;
visits?
it still happened.
He visits Peggy Carter in the hospital.
Because when she's explaining it, she's showing he had to have gone back to the current time because he lived out that past time. Well, then that means he was living out a dimension
No, you're being too picky. The whole point is she was focusing
No, look,
on the
put it this way. In Captain America 2, whenever he goes and sees Peggy Carter in the hospital and she's like fucking 90 and he hasn't aged a day and it's all dramatic to see his love affair or his love interest. You know the scene I'm speaking of?
Yes.
And he has like a whole relationship with her still. Like he goes and visits her in the hospital and they're just fucking happy that they're both still alive and can talk to each other.
Yeah.
She never mentioned, oh, hey, there's another Captain America that I totally had a life with. You know, like we grew old together. She never brought that up. Like, oh, you don't have to come here and keep me company. You already did it. You know, like she never brings that up.
I mean, I guess that's a good point, but it's also speculation that this happened in the future. You know, like that.
Yeah.
It was rewritten to an extent, but in a manageable cause. That's
I
what I'm
believe
saying.
so. I believe that's
But
the
look,
case.
we're going really deep down the timeline loophole.
Which,
and I've
like,
still
they
got a
fucking
few-
started this.
I've
you know?
still got a few issues with this movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, I don't... going to the deaths. I don't understand Black Widow's death.
Oh,
I don't
I do.
think that it was necessary. I think that they did it just to do it.
A little bit
I
yes
think
and no.
that also Clinton Barton in that event should have died instead of her.
No,
Some
but
people thought
he's
that,
just more of a
but
fan
also,
favorite. I think that's
like,
why he stayed alive.
How did nobody know like
that was gonna happen?
You're
You
gonna have to
kill
kill
someone for the
somebody,
Soul Stone.
or
It's like they
there's
set them
another
up.
way around it. That's
I
what I'm
know,
saying.
right, I was thinking
Whenever
that.
they
Like, whoever-
went to do the piece, I was like, dude,
Whoever chooses the Soul Stone
this
is
was a
fucked, you
very
know?
impactful moment
Yes.
in Infinity War.
And they
I'll
came
give you
across it
that.
on this time
I don't feel
they
like this
fucking
is an
forgot about it.
impactful moment in Endgame. I think that it is a fucking loosely stolen ploy used to kill off a character to get some feels, and
no,
it
but
was
that was-
totally unnecessary.
Yeah, all right. Well, it wasn't. Someone had to die for the Soul Stone. Ergo, it wasn't totally
That's why
unnecessary.
I think Iron Man should have went, and he should have figured out how to. Iron Man and Cap should have went, so Cap could have fought fucking Skullface and Red Skull.
Oh, that would have been
He
something.
should. He could fight Red Skull, and then Iron Man could use his science knowledge to figure out how to get the stone
without killing
somebody.
But yeah, it's like, dude.
Yeah, like him and Ant-Man.
It's like
could've
you said,
figured it
that they
out.
had to
Him,
know.
Bruce Banner, Ant-Man, like, oh no, we just
It's
so
because it's
happened
only
to come back.
speculated. They knew that Thanos went to that planet with Gamora and came back without Gamora and the Soul Stone. So they only speculated, but they like didn't want to accept that was what happened. Like they knew, they fucking knew. You know, like it was said. Like they're like, what happened to Gamora? Oh, like well, he went to the Soul Stone place with her and came out without her.
Well, I
bet.
will give them that they did say like, Thanos killed her.
Yeah.
But not like Thanos killed her in order to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah, they
Well,
never
actually,
did
you know,
spell
I
that
think,
out.
You know what? There may have been one point where they did say that.
Well, either way, there's enough speculation for them to know, man, whoever has to go over for the Soul Stone, they are fucked.
But
They
I mean-
drew the short straw.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's probably the most defining thing to me that sticks out. That makes me be like,
No,
I
but
didn't
I
even
think-
mind. I didn't even mind like the Fortnite like obvious plug for that.
Fortnite
I thought
plug.
it,
The
I thought
Fortnite
it was
plug.
funny. I thought
Yeah, it
that
was funny.
everybody's gonna probably think it's funny.
No,
what
but I think
didn't like was that.
someone-
And I feel like that. Like,
someone had to
ruined-
die for them to get the Soul Stone, and I think they chose the perfect two people to go after the Soul Stone. They chose it is the perfect turn of events that unfolded while they're trying to decide who dies to get the Soul Stone, and it was like who did die was perfect. Because I love Black Widow, she's a great character. I love Scarlett Johansson's acting, and I love what she's like, how she's what she's done with this character. But I just love Hawkeye more, and I would have been like straight up pissed if he died. You know?
Well, I mean, the only thing I'm saying is, I mean, I do agree story wise, like at
And like
what
we
they're
ain't
dealing
lost
with, it's not
permanently.
that
No.
horrible, but I do like looking over and like Clint's looking over and looking at fucking Scarlet Witch's dead body. The only thing I'm imagining is Gamora's dead body, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've already seen this. I feel like almost they made it to where I felt literally no emotional connection to Black Widow dying because
See,
of that.
I did, like,
I'm so pissed.
I felt like I just felt like I cared more about Black Widow dying than Gamora dying, and not counting anyone who died in the snap, because you almost knew that was gonna somehow be resolved. Like, we ain't really had any permanent Avengers death, and again, not counting the snap, that makes Black Widow's the first permanent.
No, and Red.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't come back. Yeah, the first permanent real person. Robot #robot lives don't matter.
Vision's dead. Loki's dead. And
oh yeah, Loki was never an Avenger.
I was about to say Loki, the original Avenger.
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson's dead.
Yeah,
and Tony Stark's dead. Dude, I thought Ant-Man died.
Dude,
I thought Ant-Man straight up died.
Like whenever dude, yeah, it's because you talk about whenever the missiles hit. And
yes.
It was like, dude, how did he survive that? He was right in the forefront of the blast.
I was like, damn, dude, they just killed him.
Like,
I thought, dude, I thought Ant-Man straight up died.
I thought like half of them fucking died right there.
Like maybe he was able to fucking put up his hood or
like
something.
That quick.
I'll be honest with you.
But
yeah,
you
they
show him get blown back. I'll
be honest with you. They should have killed a War Machine right there.
Oh, probably, yeah. Like I never really cared. Like again, I don't dislike the character at all.
I love War Machine.
No, but that would have been just a good moment. Not a good moment. I mean,
I think I love War Machine now than I did.
It would have been
Iron
crazy.
Man 1.
It would have made
after
that.
the actor. I like this actor a lot more than.
Don Cheadle.
It would have made.
Yeah.
It would have made blowing up the Avengers headquarters a bit more dramatic, knowing that.
Yeah, if one of them died during the explosion. Yeah. Because, dude, every time there's an explosion, it's like, oh, fuck, we just lost a main character. Well, you know, the first time there was a massive explosion in the War of Hogwarts, fucking Fred died.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's our opinion. We're going to dive more into comic books and Marvel after the month of May, closer to Spider-Man. Have you seen Avengers? If you liked it, let us know.
If you haven't seen Avengers, what the fuck are you listening to this
down below.
for?
Yeah, honestly, be sure to let us know what you think about these types of episodes, what you'd like for us to focus on in the future.
Because that can be all over the place.
All over the place. Obviously, we have mixed reviews here. Some of us loved it, some of us hated it, some of us are in the middle. So,
but I mean, that's a good way to show that you have a healthy.
That makes a good
movie.
review. Yeah.
That's how you know that it, like, you know, if a movie can inspire that much difference of opinions, you know, I think that's great.
And that's all we have here. Our opinions and beer.
It tastes
Just
like
like your opinion, man.
Your kung fu is pretty good.
All that we got here are and